guys, welcome back to the channel. I know this is my third video this weekend, but for us record collectors, this weekend is kind of like Christmas Day for hardcore collectors because Happy Record Store Day. It is a really exciting day, and one in particular I look forward to, like many of you, every single year. I can't believe it's really been a year since I did my last year Record Store Day video. Maybe because of Black Friday, I'm not sure. But it feels like I just did Record Store Day a year ago. And, you know, here we are again. Record Store Day 2016 is come and gone. Well, it's still kind of happening, but it's done for me because I have spent everything and then some. So I can't wait to, I couldn't wait to get relaxed and take a little nap, and got up at 3:30 this morning. Drove to Waterloo Records in Austin, Texas, which is about 40 minutes from where I live. And stood in line from 4:30. Store opens at 8, so about 3.5 hours. And really, frankly, there was only one thing I really was hoping I could pick up, and I was able to get it, and I'm going to save it for last because that was kind of my one must-have item for me. And then whatever I got from there was just kind of like a bonus, and ended up getting more than I anticipated, more than I thought, and I'm pretty excited to share it with you again this year. So I'm just gonna dive right in, I think, and tell you about my day. It was a really great crowd this year. I was about 50th in line, even though I got there at 4:30. There was about 50 people in front of me, and I guess I can't say I was too surprised. Living in Austin, music capital of the world, as they like to call it. You know, there's a lot of record collectors here, a lot of music fans, so that store is one of the best record stores you'll ever go to. And if you ever get a chance to come to Austin, or if you've ever been to Austin and know that Waterloo Records is phenomenal. So they had everything. There was, I think, only 6 titles out of the 450 they didn't have, and that was because they were delayed. So really kudos to Waterloo for doing a remarkable job of stocking and getting a lot of inventory for all the variety of different collectors. And one of the beautiful things about Record Store Day, among many things, is the fact that there is really something for everyone. Whether you have very specific taste, or if you have a wide range like I do, there really is. If you can't find anything you're interested in on Record Store Day, I would probably think that you really need to broaden your horizons a little bit, because there's a lot of classic rock, a lot of oldies. Even before the 60s, there's oldies. So there's 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and reissues and new music and popular bands of today and Justin Bieber and you name it. There is something for everyone on Record Store Day. So anyway, my experience was really good this year. Great crowd, great shop, and from there I went to a second store after my first go round, and then we'll get into all that. So I'm just going to start with 7 inches like I did last year. Very slim pickings for me this year on 7 inches, frankly. There's probably a lot of things I could have got, but nothing. I don't collect 7 inches very much. Sure I have mentioned that on my channel before. I only collect you know, maybe a handful in comparison to full-on albums, but there was a couple that I thought I really needed to get. The single from Mudcrutch. Mudcrutch is basically Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the band that he formed that was originally meant to be the Heartbreakers, but they had some lineup changes and whatnot. They had an album come out that I only recently found out about, believe it or not, through James Lack, Rockboy 680, here a few months ago. Well, they're set to release their second album called 2, great creative title there, 2, and this is a single from it called Trailer, and the B-side is Beautiful World. So I have not heard these songs, and I don't know quite what to expect with it, but you know, the first album is great. If you like Tom Petty, you're bound to like Mudcrutch, because it is Tom Petty, more or less. He wrote both of these tracks, and should be good. This is just black vinyl on this one. I'm only going to show you the more interesting things, unless it's really easy to get to. Reprise label, typical Tom Petty. So that one's really easy to get to, but I'm not going to show you every record, every label, because we're going to be here too long. A favorite band of mine is Mazzy Star. The singer from Mazzy Star, his name is Hope Sandoval, and she's got a 7-inch single out. She's been very dormant other than the Mazzy Star release that came out, maybe 3 years ago now. This is called Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions, and a single called Isn't It True. So I was kind of excited to hear this. I'll add this to my 7-inch collection, and the B-side is called She's in the Wall. And this is on color vinyl. And just see if I can pull this one out real quick and show you. I always like Record Store Day because you get a lot of interesting colors and patterns, and they do a lot of special things. So that was $7, and I thought, yeah, that's got to go in my collection because I'm a pretty big Mazzy Star fan. I have all their studio albums, and I love her voice. I'm also a big fan of this band, Foals. They have a single out here called Rain with the B-side of Daffodils. Don't know if I know these songs. I'm not even frankly sure if either one of these were on their most recent album, because I haven't visited that album in some time, but I'm a fan of them. And here's the label, because it's easy to get to on this one. And looking forward to putting that on. And that is the extent of my 7 inches. There's 100 more probably that are interesting, but I'm just, like as I said, I'm not much of a 7-inch collector, so I kind of pick and choose very, very selectively on my 7 inches. Only one 10-inch I was kind of interested in this year, and it's a picture disc. I'm a big Star Wars nut. I'm a geek. I love science fiction, if you haven't figured that out by now. The Force Awakens 10-inch picture disc has 2 tracks on it from John Williams' score of The Force Awakens. Here is the track listing here. You get a track called March of the Resistance on the A side, and the B side is Ray's Theme. So I think this one is, they had a lot of copies of this at the first store, but they sold out completely. They had to actually backfill before I could get to the soundtracks to even get one. That initial stock was gone. Luckily, I saw out of the corner of my eye someone sticking about 5 more up there, and they were just grabbing them like crazy. So I think this was a pretty hot item this year. Anything Star Wars related, you know, is going to be very, very popular. So I'm happy to have it. I have the Star Wars box set. You've probably seen that video. I have original copies of the Star Wars vinyl. I have picture disc of Star Wars. I have the new color swirl of the Attack of the Clones. I'm really pretty much a sucker for anything Star Wars related, so I'm really happy to add that to my collection. So that's it on 10 inches. Again, there was a few more that looked somewhat interesting to me, but you know, everyone has a budget. I have a budget, even though I do spend a lot of money. You just can't get everything you would even be interested in, or you'd be, beyond broke. But with that said, I went in with a list, and there's about, I don't know, 5 or 6 things here that were not on my list that I ended up going home with. And I'll start with these. I'm going to start with the stuff that wasn't on my list that I ended up taking. Kind of an unplanned purchase, I guess you could say. A couple albums from Regina Spektor. I've had these on CD for a long time, and this one in particular is excellent. And I really, really have always loved this album called Begin to Hope. This one's nice. It's the 10th anniversary limited edition 2 LP. It is black vinyl, but you get a bonus LP with 10 additional tracks, including previously unreleased song Baby Jesus. So I'm excited to add that to my collection. For whatever reason, it didn't make the cut on the list. I guess when you're home, it's easy to be conservative and say, well, I can live without that. I've got the CD. It's a 10-year-old record. But then you get in the store and you get excited, and the hype, and there's the buying momentum just kicks in. And I ended up taking her other album as well, which I'm not as familiar with here, called Soviet Kitsch. And this one is non-gatefold color vinyl. So a little inconsistent, I guess. One is a black vinyl, and this one is a color vinyl. I'll show you it real quick. Nothing too spectacular, but it's just a nice solid red vinyl on Sire Records. So kind of interested to hear this one. I don't know. I'd have to go look and see if I have the CD. I've heard tracks from it, but I'm not sure if I have the CD because the cover is not that familiar to me. So anyway, those were kind of unplanned purchases, but I am a mild fan of Regina Spektor, and I'm sure now that I have them on vinyl, I'll become an even bigger fan. Here's one that I collect. I was going to let it go. I said, I don't pull these out. I hardly ever listen to them. But I have the other 4. This is volume 5 of the Sacred Bones compilation. This is the 5th in the series. They put them out on Record Store Day. They're limited to 1,000 copies, and I have all of the others. And I got caught up in it again and said, okay, it's not on my list, but I'm going to go ahead and take it because it has tracks from Marissa Nadler and Lust for Youth and all of their current artists that they're trying to promote pretty much. you might be able to freeze the video and take a look at the track listing on that. So it wasn't too expensive, $16. And I do love the artwork on these things. They're all beautiful. They all have aviary pictures of birds and flowers and snakes and owls and you name it. So they're all very, very similar. So that's the 5th in the series of that. This one, my friend Albert Gafanti was messaging me on Facebook throughout the day, and he sent me a picture of this one and said that he would like me to check it out. So on my second trip to Piranha Records, and again, another great store, that one's really local here in Round Rock, it's just up the road. I can get there in 10 minutes. So it's not as spectacular as Waterloo, but they do have recently, in the last few years, done a great job with Record Store Day. I always kind of do my cleanup work there, I guess you could say. I do my main shopping at Waterloo. Then I go up to Piranha Records and kind of pick and choose and see what's left over. And it works out well because Waterloo opens at 8, Piranha opens at 10, so by the time I got through at Waterloo, checked out, drove up to Piranha Records, they weren't even open yet. So I was way back in line though, and I wasn't sure what I'd get, but they did have this. They did have a copy of Skywave. I am not familiar with this. It's brand new to me. Apparently it's just kind of a noisy shoegaze type music and should be kind of up my alley. Albert knows my taste well. He recommended it to me, so I thought I would give it a try because he recommended it, and it comes on kind of an orange, marbled black and white vinyl. Very pretty. So looking forward to checking that out and see what I think. Albert, I will give you my opinion as soon as I have heard it. I haven't heard any of these yet because I got home, cleaned up, took a nap, had a bite to eat, and here we are. This one again was not on my list, but you know, I got caught up in it again. I'm a fan of the band. I have a lot of their old albums. Did not buy their most recent album though, but this has a lot of the older tracks on it and a few newer tracks as well. Simple Minds Live, Big Music Tour 2015. This is 2 LP pressing on solid red vinyl, and it has some good older tracks as well as newer tracks, as you can see here. It's got Don't You Forget About Me, their most famous song, and it's got Waterfront and oh gosh, I'm not good at reading upside down. New Gold Dream, All the Things She Said, Someone Somewhere in Summertime, Sanctify Yourself, Alive and Kicking. So it's just a good mix of old and new. And Jim Kerr and Simple Minds have always been kind of a long-term favorite of mine. So this was really expensive though, $45, and I thought that was outrageous for it too. You know, it's like, is there a DVD in it? Is there something special? $45. So I have no idea. This was the second most expensive item I bought all day, and I thought that was really outrageous. This was one of the last couple here I have that were unexpected. 2 more. Hooverphonic, I have 1 album of theirs. This is an older reissue on Music on Vinyl. This is on color vinyl as well, and this album is called The Magnificent Tree. I like them. I like the other album I have from them, and I'm just going to take it out of the Music on Vinyl sleeve very quickly and show you the pretty limited edition to 1,000 copies for Record Store Day on a green, see-through, transparent, black. It's very, very pretty. So, of course, you didn't know that when it was in the shop, but it did say color vinyl, but it exceeded my expectations. I think it's prettier than I thought it would be. Music on Vinyl is one of my very favorite labels. They do an amazing job of sound reproduction and remastering and pressing these, and they sound fantastic. So, anytime I can get anything on Music on Vinyl, I'll take it. And this is numbered, by the way, too. I got number 673. Not a great number there out of 1,000, but hey, not too bad either, 673. So one last one. This was, I thought about putting this on my list because I just picked up their new album here a few weeks ago, and this is interesting because it looks, and it has the title of their old album, their first album, but they've taken the music and they have other people singing the songs, and you can see who's doing it here. Sia, Charlie XCX, who else is on there? Sarah Bareilles. I'm reading upside down, but it's Bleacher songs, but they have other people doing the vocals. So I thought that's an interesting idea. This is on color vinyl, and it's on a gray, black, marbly type thing. So if you like Bleachers, I would think this would be an interesting pickup for you for Record Store Day, and kind of almost made my list, but it didn't, and well, here it is in my hands. So I guess when it's all said and done, you can throw my list out the window. It doesn't mean anything. I just buy whatever I can get, which isn't necessarily true. I did show restraint. I did let things go. I did not pick up Dead Can Dance. I have that on clear vinyl. It sounds amazing. They reissued it for Record Store Day on green vinyl. I let that go. I did not pick up John Grant, Queen of Denmark. It was exactly the same as the one I have, apart from it has a 7-inch single inside of it. But I just couldn't justify it because it's an album I love, but I just couldn't re-buy it again. So I guess I'm just showing you I do show restraint. I don't just go crazy and buy everything. But you know, what can you do? It's Record Store Day. This one will make Adam's 80s Heaven happy. Adam, I did pick up a copy of Madonna's Japanese 12-inch remix album here. Apparently this is the first time it's ever been released in this form in America. It does have an OB strip. It's written in Japanese. It's got 4 tracks here remixed: Like a Virgin, Holiday, Lucky Star, and Borderline, when Madonna was at her absolute prime, probably. Well, I wouldn't say prime, but she was, you know, really becoming a massive superstar. Even the inner insert here is written in Japanese, so it's a nice reproduction of that. And Adam, I can tell you, and other Madonna fans, that it's on a pretty bright pink vinyl. So I know that you Madonna fans will be interested in seeing that. So I'm pretty big, I was at one time a pretty big Madonna fan. I've gone off of her quite a bit in the last few years, but you know, I of course love these songs. And you know, I haven't bought anything from Madonna in a while. Did try her new album, and it was just kind of lukewarm on that. But this was, you know, her golden age, really, so I'm happy to have it, add it to my collection. Everything else, again, as I said, was on my list. I picked up the Alanis Morissette demos from 1994 to 1998, and I'm a pretty big Alanis Morissette fan. I love her songwriting and her style. You got the jagged little pill look on the label, and as you can see, it's a very spectacular starburst pattern vinyl, and I thought that would be worth having. And I'm interested to hear these demos of early songs, early takes of songs like well, you know, this is songs I'm not that familiar with. This must be unreleased stuff. I thought it would be demos of songs that are very well known, but I don't know the tracks on here. No Avalon, Comfort, The Bottom Line, Superstar, Wonderful Weirdos. I'm not that familiar with this, so this is better than I thought, really. So that's pretty cool. Alanis Morissette. This one, I'm a fan of this band, particularly their early work. Their newer album I wasn't as big on, but I like their first couple better. Walk the Moon, Live at the Greek, 2 LP pressing. It's non-gatefold, it's just black vinyl. Wasn't very expensive, $23. But it'll be interesting to see them, hear it live. I have seen this band live, and they're exceptionally good live. They opened for... I forgot. They were better than the band I saw, so I actually really liked them live more than the band that I saw as the headliner, so I'm excited to hear that album. I like this band a lot. This, I think, is the 3rd Record Store Day release from this band, The Autumn Defense. This is an album called The Green Hour. This is maybe was a little bit of a letdown for me, simply because the other two were gatefold, 180 gram, very nice pressings. This is a non-gatefold single LP. But this is what it says here is a 2001 debut album from the collaboration of John and Pat of Wilco. Limited edition, remastered for the first time on vinyl. This has never been on vinyl before. So, being a big fan of Wilco, I really like the Autumn Defense, and even though it was a little bit of a letdown that was just 1 LP, non-gatefold, I'm really happy to add this to my Autumn Defense / Wilco collection, so that's cool. This one, Nothing has a new album coming out. I'm excited about it. This is a god-awful cover. Somebody's tooth there with blood all over it. I apologize for the graphic nature of the cover, but I'm a fan of the band, and this vinyl is very interesting. Both songs are on the A side. You get a song called Obsessive Compulsive Disorder and Sons and Lovers, S-U-N-S, Sons and Lovers, but on the flip side, you get this, which is very interesting and different. It's kind of like an etching, but it's not. I don't know exactly how they did that, but it's pressed into the vinyl. There's no music on that. It's non-playable, but I thought that was a very, very interesting approach to releasing something. It makes a ordinary single pretty extraordinary when you do something like that. So, looking forward to the new album from Nothing. I'm a fan of them. Kind of very noisy shoegaze. I don't know how to describe things very well, but check out that band. That would probably be on one of those Artists You Should Know videos of mine that I do from time to time. But a lot of people seem to have caught on to Nothing, and I'm one of them, and I'm a pretty big fan, so happy to add that. As you probably gathered if you watched my video announcing the contest winners of yesterday, I'm a big Doctor Who fan. I mentioned Star Wars, now I mentioned Doctor Who. I did pick up Genesis of the Daleks. This is one of the most well-loved older from the Fourth Doctor episodes, and I hear the music's really good. I think it's this music slash talking story, Genesis of the Daleks. And here's the flip side of that. I'm much more familiar with the reboot of Doctor Who, so I'm not familiar at all really with the older Doctor Who, but I want to get into it. I've ordered the DVD of this so I can see what it's all about. It's pressed on blue vinyl, and I know for long-time Doctor Who fans, this Doctor is probably the most beloved of all time. So I'm kind of anxious to get into his world. You got Davros on the cover, and you've got Daleks on the cover, and you've got the TARDIS on the cover. And I heard a snippet of it here just a few minutes ago. My friend Jeremy sent me a snippet of it off of the YouTube website, and it sounds really interesting, so I am glad I picked it up. And really cool, so excited to give that a spin. Just a few more, guys. I decided to give this a go. I'm not sure quite what to expect. It's the alternate Tusk from Fleetwood Mac. 2 LPs is basically the exact album, but alternate takes of Tusk. This is a double LP on black vinyl, non-gatefold, and we're going a little bit long on time here, but you can pause the video if you'd like and read more about it. I think it'll be interesting. You know, Tusk is one of those albums that a lot of people feel is overproduced, and I think they marinated on that album far too long. Lindsey Buckingham had complete control of things, and I think it was the most expensive album ever produced at one time. And this is maybe be better. I don't know. I know Tusk is somewhat loved, but it's not my favorite Fleetwood Mac album. So maybe these will be better versions that weren't tinkered with so much. We'll see. We got Kiss My Amps Live Volume 2 from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. If you've probably gathered, I'm a pretty big Tom Petty fan. You've got just a single album, a black vinyl, and you got some pretty cool tracks on here that are not what you would expect on it's not like a hits compilation live or anything. It's more a little bit unknown tracks, I guess you could say. Not unknown, but I wouldn't say his A-star list stuff, but interesting. This is Volume 2, so now I'm going to have to probably hunt down Volume 1. I did look briefly online, and I could see they command a pretty big price, so I don't know how quick I'll ever be able to get Volume 1, but I'm happy to have Volume 2. Jeff Lynne, ELO, I'm a fan of them, and I have one album from the Idol Race, and this one, original copies are crazy expensive. I did pick up a copy of the Idol Race. This is their second album, self-titled, and can't wait to hear this. I'm a big Jeff Lynne fan, and he's just one of my favorite songwriters and singers of all time. And this is a really, really beautiful vinyl on Parlophone Records. Sorry. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love that. That might be my favorite of all of them, really. And being that I'm a big Jeff Lynne fan, I'm really, really always excited when I can add anything new to my collection from Jeff Lynne, ELO, Idol Race, The Move, anything like that. So really, really excited to hear that, and that might be my first spin when I'm done with this video. So I can't wait to hear it, really. So Idol Race, second LP, that's beautiful vinyl, and this was going pretty quick too, so I don't know how many of these would be left, but if there are any left, give it a try. And then finally, I wanted to spend a bit of time on this, but I see we're at 24 minutes already. The one item I went for early, and I really, really was hoping I could get it, and I'm so happy I did, is the Lush box set. This is 5 LP, color vinyl. There are 5 studio albums on 4AD. You get Gala, Spooky, Split, Love Life, and Topolino. Here it is in all its glory. I have this on CD, and for Record Store Day they put it out on 5LP color vinyl, and it's really, really cool. I don't know if I should. Maybe it's going to go longer than you guys would like, but I really almost feel like I want to show you this because this is my favorite item of the whole day. So just bear with me. If you're not a Lush fan or don't care, I guess that's that. But here's Lush, and maybe I won't show you all of them, but I'll show you the first two. I'll show you the first two records because they are. This one's a frosty clear pattern here, and this one is for Gala, and they're nice inner sleeves and nice artwork on the covers. So I'm just so excited to have these on vinyl. And then I'll just show you Spooky real quick here. Here's the cover, back cover, you've got the inner sleeve, and you got the vinyl, which this one is a nice gray pattern here. Nice solid gray, that is. So I'm really just so excited to hear these on vinyl. I've never heard their music on vinyl. I've been a fan of them for a long time, but if these were ever put to vinyl originally, they're well out of my price range because I don't have a single piece of their vinyl records. And there may be some originals out there, but you know, 90s music isn't that common to find old copies of. Then you've got Split, sorry. That one is the color of this, more of a red. Then you've got this one here. This is called Love Life. This one here is pink. I'm just trying to be as quick as I can here because I know we've gone long. And then we've got this one here called Topolino, and this one is a yellow. So I think this one's yellow. I may have gone a little bit. It's pink, red, yellow, gray, and frosty clear. So anyway, I'm excited to have them. This is what I really was excited to get in line early for this Record Store Day. So I'm really, really happy to add this box set to my collection. And that's it. So I hope you can see that I didn't go completely mad, but I went a little bit more mad than I wanted to. But that's okay. Like I said, it only comes around once or twice a year. Black Friday Record Store Day comes in November, obviously, and it's not near as big as this Record Store Day. So as I said, this is Christmas for record collectors. And being that I'm a pretty big record collector, and it's really about supporting your stores. That's a big part of it. As I said last year, I don't like anybody saying anything too negative about Record Store Day, because if it's not your gig, great, support your stores in other ways. But let's not put the people down that really have fun and meet people and interact and get to know one another and find that part of record collecting so much fun. So be mindful of that as you're commenting on things, and let's all appreciate everybody's differences. So a lot of freebies this year too. Won't go into detail, but I got this nice tote bag, this Record Store Day tote bag. So that's a nice little collectible there. I'll reuse that for sure. That's it really, guys. I know I've gone way too long. I'm pushing 30 minutes here. I'll probably just leave it at that. I hope all of you had a wonderful Record Store Day. I wish we could all be together and we could do these things as a team, because I think it'd make it that much more fun. But wherever you are in the world, I hope you had fun on Record Store Day, even if you were out just looking through the used bins. I think it's important to get out on Record Store Day and support your stores and show enthusiasm for vinyl, and it's here to stay. So anyway, that's it from me for Record Store Day 2016. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.